How are you doing, Skip? I am doing well. Thanks for asking. So this is going to be patience number 2. I mean, just sit there. Make sure you get it all out. All right, so we find ourselves in positions where it may or may not be comfortable to be patient. You know, a lot of the reprimands, time out, in school suspension, suspended from school, county jail, prison. All these things are forced constraints of time. So when you really think about the patience, okay, and being forced into situations where I have to wait. I'm just like, my wife's looking at stuff in the store. Hey, let's go to the store. And then let's go to the store. It turns into me waiting for her. And then she's got to go over here and see Sally. And she's got to go stop by and take this thing back. And then, whatever. Like, I am so impatient. If I buy something and I don't use it, it goes on a shelf. I'm not going to take it back. I'm mad that I spent the money, but I value the time and hassle it takes to take it back to the store more than the money that I would get back. For real, I'm really like that. And my wife loves to take stuff back to the store, so, God gave me the perfect helper. The other half of me. One says rib, one says side. In the translations that I've read. And I don't think that there's a difference as far as, we're equal in that we're both created in the image of God. And then it's like she's got to stay in her lane, I got to stay in my lane. That's good to figure out. But we're talking about patience. And I'm telling you right now, everything in your life will get better with patience. I mean, you're in a hurry. You know what I mean? You're going and doing. I get it. It's enough to make a preacher cuss how busy we are these days, and the downtimes. You know what I mean? To take a day off to observe the Sabbath. You know what I mean? And there's this other thing about patience, because the point is you'll be complete lacking nothing. So in the moment that I'm in jail, I'm like, oh wow, I can just read this Bible all day and develop the mind of Christ. Like this is the biggest mercy I've ever had in my life. I've been working since I was 7 years old, like a grown man, and now I have a place to stay. I got food, clothes, a shower, and the door's locked. I can't go anywhere. And here's a Bible. And if I write a letter to these people, they will send me more Bibles. And I'm just like, I got to figure this thing out, because my son died. So I just want to see my son. Like, I actually kind of indifferent. Didn't really care one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. The first religion of the yadas. Or whatever. Why are they all the first one? I don't get that. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand. But, man, I looked at all the religions, and they were all pretty much giant holes in them. But because my son had passed away, I was like, is it possible? And just because, is it possible? Like, with this hope of seeing my son again. I looked at all of them, and I was like, this ain't getting me there. This ain't getting me there. They're just like, be a good dude. The good outweighs the bad somehow. And then this guy says, well, I'm going to prison for what I got wrong. The judge didn't care what I got right. The result of doing the right thing, keep a job. Don't cheat on your wife. Like, probably have a house and kids. It'll take you 30 years, but, that's generally what happens. Cause and effect, right? So, Dudes like drink beer, have car wreck, go to prison. Cool, yeah, that actually adds up. And then that moment where he's like the judge, he's like, I'm going to prison for what I got wrong, bro. Like, and then it just hits me. It's like, oh wow. So in that moment where God set me down and put me in a cage, and then if I had, anything to question or point something out or whatever, I had a captive audience. It was a captivating season in my life. And I learned to entertain myself, and then I learned about the Bible and stuff, and then I learned how to talk to people that have obviously sinned to the point that they're in prison. So I'm like, I don't care why you're here. Like, please, don't tell me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to know. And I know why I'm here, because I didn't have money to pay child support, and then I knew all the reasons why I probably should have went that nobody knew about. So in my head, I was kind of like, well, I'm actually getting off easy on this deal, which was kind of like mercy. And then I'm reading it, and it's like God's son died, and I'm like, wow, I know how that feels. So this dedication and this passion and just real genuine care, in that moment, God allowed me that season to mold and create me. So in your seasons, in your patience, it says, let patience have its perfect work, and you will be complete, lacking nothing. So whatever's around the corner for you, it'll be age and stage appropriate, and it might not make sense right now, but you can trust that God is on the throne. And if you'll elevate Him to the most high position of your life, He is the priority, more than my wife, more than my kids, more than myself. For sure, more than money and stuff. That's just stuff. We're guaranteed food and clothes. Everything else is just extra. For real. Why? You need to make peace with that. And then you want to switch from selfish ambition to selfless ambition. So if I'm doing it for the kingdom, if I can see how God will use my attributes to monetize what I'm naturally gifted in. He created me in my mother's womb to be a certain way. And then through all this circumstance and trials, so everything leading up to this moment was training I could use in this moment, and next week I'll be better at it. If I'm patient, as He's decreasing my lack, whether that's spelling or I left some comments, man. It's so hard to leave a comment while you're driving down the road in a semi, and then the stupid spell check or whatever, and then I can't spell anyway. Obviously I could use big words with 5 syllables, but I can't spell the word syllable. You know what I mean? And people say, you can't spell the word, intel at such.com, you self-selected out. You're not intelligent enough to tell me what you saw. And, to me, that's well, I guess I'm out of this deal. I don't know how to spell the word intelligence. I know how to figure it out. I have enough intelligence to talk to my phone and then copy the word over and all this kind of stuff. But, little offensive, really. And, if you don't want to hear it, I guess you ain't gonna hear it, whatever. But the point is, I wanted to share this. This is patient number 2. Let it all out. Have some humor about yourself and about your situation, and realize, man, our righteousness is like filthy rags, is what the Bible says. So me trying to do right to earn my way to heaven is about like the translation is used menstrual cloth. So for the record, on Judgment Day, to be redeemed and go to paradise forever, you got two options. You got like, Jesus died for me, or hey, I'll trade you a tampon. So you're gonna be standing in front of God and be like, well, I lied, I cheated, I stole. I hate that guy, so I'm guilty of murder and everything else like that. But here, let me give you these used tampons to make up for it. And he's like, to the pit of fire. To the pit of fire. You evil, worthless. Your offering is not enough. You know what I mean? That'd be like, I'll just meet some dude off of Craigslist to buy, 92 Chevrolet Silverado. And I just show up and I'm just like, hey, well, I could give you this $4,000 or, I got some tampons, if you'd like to trade. I mean, maybe he's a vampire. I don't know. Hey, this is bad. This is bad. I'm sorry. But that's patient number 2. Get it all out. This is coarse jesting. The Bible says no coarse jesting, and this is very coarse jesting. I apologize for that. I really do. I apologize, really. Like, I'm not genuinely apologizing right now. So I apologize that I can't genuinely apologize, because I think this is funny. And, so hopefully you got something good out of that. Rock L. Go drop off your kids at the pool. The jokes just keep coming.